Stampin' Sharon. I am going to be doing a little coloring today. I have a very special thank you card that I need to make, so I thought I would go ahead and video it and let you guys see what I do. I love sharing tips and tricks on my videos. If I can ever help you in any way, I'd be so honored to do so. If you've not already subscribed to my channel, you can do so below. After you subscribe, you can hit that little bell. You'll be notified when I upload a video. If I can ever help you with your Stampin' Up! Supply needs, let me know. Let me show you my card. The stamp set that I'm using comes from the Occasions catalog, and honestly, when I first got this catalog, I just started looking. I missed this stamp set. I think it is such a sweet set, and as you can see by the samples, there's so many different ways you can use it. So I pulled it out. I went ahead and ordered it, and I pulled it out. Here is the stamp set, All That You Are. Let me show you my card. I had a hard time picking some designer series paper, but when I found the little polka dot ones, I loved how you can see the polka dot through the flower and through the leaf and everything. We're going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to use a different color. I'm using Poppy Parade. First thing I want to do is go ahead and color my ribbon, and I'm using the Stampin' Blends. I'm using the dark Poppy Parade, and I'm just going to color it like this. It does make my ribbon a little stiff, but it's okay. I can kind of play with it a little bit, and it's only because it's alcohol inks that makes it a little stiff. I'm going to go ahead and color both sides so that because I'm tying it into a bow, I want to make sure that we get both sides nice and colored. Set that aside. I have my piece of vellum, and I will have all the measurements in the description box below. I'm going to go ahead and just use my embossing buddy. I want to tell you a little secret. When I put the stamp on the block, I was like, I really want my vellum to be about that size. What size is my block? Pulled out the ruler, measured it. My block is 3.5 by 4.5. So that's the size that I cut my vellum. Pretty cool, huh? I'm going to use Versamark ink, and since this is a large stamp, I'm going to ink it up upside down like this. Make sure I get all that ink on my paper. Do a little, pour some embossing powder on it. I'm just using the White Emboss. And then I'm going to heat set. You always want to make sure that your embossing powder is nicely melted, and if you hold it up to the light, you will see that everything is shiny. If you don't do that, and there's some of it that hasn't been heated and melted, once you touch it and brush off that powder, it's over. You can't really fix that. So use your light sources, no matter if it's a window or whatever, to make sure you have that all nice and melted. The best way to color vellum is on the back. If you will color on the back, it doesn't matter how perfect you are. I'm staying inside the lines. I'm not going outside here, but I can color right over the white and it doesn't affect it. You won't be able to see through it. If I color on the front, which I'm going to be honest, when I first was trying to design this card, I wanted to color on the front because I was using a lighter color. Oh, what did I think? I think I picked up Flirty Flamingo and I made a mess. Should I show you my mess? Nah, just trust me. It was a mess. I just didn't do a good job. I didn't stay in the lines. I got some of the Stampin' Blends on the white, and I thought, well, I'll just get a tissue and wipe it off because it doesn't dry. Oh yes, it does. Alcohol markers dry. If I had been using the Stampin' Write markers, those are water-based, I would have been okay. But with the Stampin' Blends, they dried. I couldn't wipe it off. So I'm just doing a few little dots on the back. These little flowers are pretty tiny, and you can't really see much color coming through, but I wanted a little bit. And then I'm also using Granny Apple Green. Whoops, wrong end. The Flirty Flamingo was just too pale to use on the back side. You couldn't hardly see it. So I do recommend that you pick bold, darker colors when you're doing this design. It just helps you be able to see the color. I switched it around to the finer point to get up into these skinnier stems. And there you have it, all colored. Since we still have our markers out, I have some rhinestone jewels, and I'm going to go ahead and color 3 of those, let those dry with my Poppy Parade Stampin Blends. I have my layers already cut. All my measurements, if I didn't mention, are in the description box below. Let's do our stamping of our sentiment. I am going to use my banner triple punch because it's pretty, this is a pretty short little banner, and the way I like to do it is put it with the stamp side in, or stamp side facing down, come to the corners and punch, and then I can just grab my Poppy Parade, do the same thing. I can line up my corners and punch. Go ahead and add some dimensionals since that's what we're going to ultimately do. My friend sent me a beautiful gift for my birthday, and I should have grabbed the card. You would have loved the card. She's a stamper, and she did the card with Bitemojis of her and I, but she also used the mountains because she knows I live in the mountains stamp set from the waterfront stamp set. So I'll have to show y'all her card on another video, I guess, because I did not get that out. To put our vellum on, we're going to use some multi-purpose glue and the silicone mat. The silicone mat allows me to put some adhesive on without getting my work surface sticky and all of that. I just have 1/4 of a sponge, and I'm going to put most of my glue in the middle. I think I need a little bit more. I'm going to put that at an angle. Whoops, I still see glue. You don't want to see the glue through the vellum. That's the hardest thing. Years ago, we didn't know this trick, so it was really hard to keep that glue from showing. So see how you can see the polka dots through? I just think that's so fun. Now, I get this question a lot. How do I get this off? This is still wet, but when I did my first card, this is all dry now. You will just take and rub this with your fingers. Now, that is using multi-purpose glue from Stampin' Up. If you use something else, I can't guarantee that you could get this off. It should work with like Elmer's glue or things like that. Any kind of a liquid glue should work very well. We're going to take our banner. Going to add that at the bottom. And we have see how stiff the ribbon is? But if you just kind of run it through your fingers a few times, it does get softer. But I think it helps make a really pretty bow. And then we'll just add it with a glue dot. There you have it. I think I like the Poppy Parade background better than the green, but I like them both. So happy stamping, guys. To me, vellum and embossing are just elegance. I loved this card. It's still not as fancy as I think I should do for my special friend, but I still think she's gonna like it. So happy stamping, y'all.